During World War II, the Axis powers and the Allied powers were the two main opposing alliances. The Axis powers, comprising Nazi Germany, Fascist Italy, and Imperial Japan, formed one of the most formidable military alliances in history during World War II, with shared ideologies of expansionism, militarism, and authoritarianism. These nations sought to reshape the global order through conquest and domination. This video delves into the origins, key members, military strategies, significant campaigns, and eventual downfall of the Axis powers during World War II. The origins of the Axis powers can be traced back to the rise of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party in Germany during the interwar period. Fueled by resentment over the Treaty of Versailles and economic hardship, Hitler capitalized on nationalist sentiments and anti-Semitic propaganda to consolidate power. The Nazis' expansionist ambitions and racial ideology laid the groundwork for Germany's aggressive foreign policy. In Italy, Benito Mussolini's fascist regime emerged in response to social unrest and economic instability following World War I. Mussolini exploited nationalist fervor and a desire for territorial expansion to establish a totalitarian dictatorship. Italy's invasion of Ethiopia in 1935 and subsequent interventions in Spain and Albania signaled its aggressive expansionist agenda. In Japan, militaristic factions gained influence amid economic turmoil and political instability. The military, led by ultra-nationalist officers, sought to assert Japan's dominance in East Asia and the Pacific. Japan's invasion of Manchuria in 1931 and subsequent expansionist campaigns in China and Southeast Asia demonstrated its commitment to territorial expansion. Under the leadership of Adolf Hitler, Nazi Germany emerged as the driving force behind the Axis powers. Hitler's expansionist ambitions and racial ideology fueled Germany's aggressive military campaigns in Europe, Africa, and the Soviet Union. The blitzkrieg tactics employed by the German military enabled rapid territorial gains and early victories. Led by Benito Mussolini, Fascist Italy aligned itself with Nazi Germany in pursuit of territorial expansion and regional dominance. Italy's military campaigns in North Africa, the Balkans, and the Mediterranean were aimed at establishing a new Roman Empire and securing vital resources and territories. Imperial Japan, under the leadership of Emperor Hirohito and the military government, sought to establish a greater East Asian Sea prosperity sphere. Japan's expansionist policies in China, Southeast Asia, and the Pacific aimed to secure access to critical resources and establish Japanese hegemony in the region. Nazi Germany pioneered the use of blitzkrieg or lightning war tactics, characterized by coordinated attacks using combined armed forces. Rapid mobilization, concentrated firepower, and strategic deception allowed German forces to achieve swift and decisive victories in Poland, France, and the early stages of the Eastern Front. Fascist Italy and Imperial Japan also pursued total war mobilization, harnessing their economies and societies to support the war effort. Italy's mobilization efforts in North Africa and the Mediterranean and Japan's industrial expansion to support its military campaigns reflected their commitment to total war. The Axis powers coordinated their offensives to exploit weaknesses in Allied defenses and maximize their territorial gains. Germany's invasion of the Soviet Union in 1941 and Japan's simultaneous attacks on Pearl Harbor and Southeast Asia demonstrated the strategic coordination of the Axis powers. The Axis powers launched their first major offensive with the invasion of Poland in September 1939. Germany's blitzkrieg tactics overwhelmed Polish defenses, leading to the rapid conquest of the country and the beginning of World War II in Europe. In May 1940, Germany launched a blitzkrieg offensive against France and the Low Countries. Despite initial setbacks, German forces breached French defenses, leading to the fall of Paris and the subsequent collapse of French resistance. Germany's invasion of the Soviet Union in June 1941, codenamed Operation Barbarossa, marked the largest military operation in history. Despite early successes, including the capture of vast territories and the encirclement of Soviet forces, Germany ultimately faced defeat due to logistical challenges, harsh winter conditions, and Soviet resistance. In December 1941, Japan launched a surprise attack on the United States Pacific Fleet at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. The attack inflicted significant damage on the American naval forces and prompted the United States to enter World War II on the side of the Allies. The Battle of Midway, fought in June 1942, proved to be a turning point in the Pacific theater. Despite initial successes, Japan suffered a decisive defeat, losing 4 aircraft carriers and effectively halting its expansion in the Pacific. In Europe, Allied offensives, including the Normandy landings in 1944 and the Soviet advances on the Eastern Front, placed increasing pressure on Germany. The liberation of France, the encirclement of German forces in the Battle of the Bulge, and the capture of Berlin signaled the imminent defeat of Nazi Germany. In the Pacific theater, Allied forces launched a series of amphibious assaults on Japanese-held islands, gradually pushing back Japanese forces. The battles of Guadalcanal, Iwo Jima, and Okinawa inflicted heavy casualties on Japanese forces and paved the way for the eventual surrender of Japan. The surrender of Germany in May 1945 and Japan in August 1945 marked the end of World War II. Nazi Germany's unconditional surrender followed the capture of Berlin by Soviet forces, while Japan's surrender came after the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the Soviet invasion of Manchuria. The Axis powers, comprising Nazi Germany, Fascist Italy, and Imperial Japan, constituted a formidable military alliance during World War II. Driven by expansionist ambitions, militarism, and authoritarian ideologies, these nations sought to reshape the global order through conquest and domination. However, their aggressive campaigns ultimately led to their downfall as Allied forces, mobilizing vast resources and coordinating offensives on multiple fronts, emerged victorious in the struggle for freedom and democracy.